I remember I was in Hawaii and I was visiting for the first time, and I was just taking a bus to go somewhere, and I didn't have a bus card because I didn't know how the bus system worked. And I remember stepping on that bus and asking if I can pay with cash or how do I pay, and they were like, "Well, you need a card." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know where can I get one?" And I'm like I'm flustered because I'm, don't want to hold up the line. I'm trying to get on this bus, and it just feels like there's pressure because you're on the bus has to go. And then the bus driver is like, "Where are you trying to go?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying to go like up there near wherever, whatever." And then they ask me, "How old are you?" And that question was just a really like it kind of like I was like, I'm 19. And they're like, "Okay, just buy one elsewhere." Anyways, I sit down and they let me ride and whatnot. But afterwards, I was like, that question kind of shook me up a little bit. It kind of threw me off just because of, I think it made me hyper aware of both my age and also maybe the age I perceive to the world versus the one that I feel. And in that moment, I think I felt my age in a way, maybe even a little younger. Because I think when you ask someone, "How old are you?" to me, it kind of insinuated that he thought maybe I was, underage, maybe 17, 16, who knows? Like, yeah, this young kid, like, ditching school. I don't know. But to me, I'm like, no, I'm like fully traveling here, like by myself, alone, like doing this thing. Like, I thought I'm like this, I have a successful show. I speak at times, but here I am being asked by this driver, like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, oh, I'm 19. And that I journaled about it. And I think it just made me really reflect on, it feels like sometimes I'm not actually, the image that I portray professionally is different because it feels like a bubble. But once I step into the real world, into this real world where you're forced to interact with people from all sorts of cultures, all sorts of ages, and not just this professional bubble, you start to kind of realize that I haven't been exposed to much at all. I haven't been in the real world. It still feels like I'm not interacting with people. I'm not letting myself be seen by who I really am. And so it kind of felt like that. It almost felt like that bus driver like saw me for who I was, which is just a human, a kid that's still only 19 and not as like this professional that's speaking and accomplished and has some maturity. And so that interaction, I think, was really profound for me. And it made me realize that I'm still so underexposed, so unexposed to so many things. I still have so much growing and maturing and seeing to do outside my own bubble.
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful. When you said the question, I was like, as an outsider hearing the story, I was like, oh, maybe he was gonna let you ride for free because you're a minor, right? He's like, oh, if you're young, you don't need to worry about paying. I thought so. Like, imagine like how different people from different perspectives see the question. Could have been just an innocent question, but what it does to us, what it makes us feel, even though it could have been just like, oh, you're this age, oh, you don't have to pay, just go ahead and sit down, right? But like not knowing how to, like what we hear compared to what the ultimate goal of it was can hit in so many different ways,
Yeah. That is very true. I didn't even think about that, but I agree.